Salam Radio wishes all of our community.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to the Property Wise Property Show. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman, and I'm here with...
Assalamu alaikum, Shaz Nawaz.
Good afternoon. And
It's your turn today.
it is my turn today.
Nothing to do with me, by the way.
That was nothing to do with you.
No.
Not entirely sure that was anything to do with me
That's
either.
because you were laughing at me last week.
It was because I was laughing.
Serves you
That's
right.
karma.
Yeah.
That is karma. I do believe in karma. Let us know what you guys think at home. You can get in touch with us. Nice segue there. On 01733 602 133. Or you can text us on 07411 191 062. Or you can comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We are here to serve you. We are at the slightly earlier time this week, and for the rest of the month, during Ramadan, we are going to be broadcasting the Property Wise show from 5 till 6.
It feels different, isn't it?
It feels super early, doesn't it?
It does feel super early because it's light out there.
It
And we're
is.
used to being dark.
But then again, we were in work at 5 o'clock this morning.
That's an early start, isn't it? The 5
Real
a.m.
early
club.
start. The 5
We should
a.m.
talk
club.
about that, by the way, maybe later in terms of mindset and 5 a.m. club.
As part of the mindset group, I think we should. Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of feeling, you've been fasting. How are you feeling?
Do you know what? I've actually been today. I've got more energy than I normally have. It's working for me
As
at
in
the
normally as
moment.
in everyday life or normally as in since Ramadan started?
Since Ramadan started.
Okay.
And probably a bit more in everyday life. I've also started going back to the gym and start getting my mindset back into a growth mindset rather than a stable mindset. So that changes things slightly as well, because we're now all focused on growth, which I think will be a good thing.
Absolutely.
Growth in all areas: business, personal, physical, mental, spiritual,
Every way, yeah.
in every way.
You've got to try and improve, haven't you, really?
I
One has to try and improve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that segues nicely into mindset. Mindset does play a big part in people's ability to improve, people's ability to take we all like to look in the mirror and see what we want to see. It's very difficult sometimes to look in the mirror and see the truth. And I think the more people do that, the more people get comfortable with seeing the truth of who they are, what they do, how they interact with the world, the more they can be honest about what they need to grow. And I think that's a very important thing that more people should do. And
As in, look in the mirror.
absolutely, yeah. And I mean, take my personal case, for example. I was a trained dancer from the age of, I started dancing at 4, gave up dancing because of injuries and what have you at 17. But I continued going to the gym, kept fairly fit, went into martial arts, and continued that on well into my 20s. And then I got comfortable and things stopped. And there was always an excuse. Oh, I'm too tired. It's been a long day at work. Oh, I don't fancy it tonight. I've just got this twinge and it's not. And ultimately, all excuses. I recognized it at the time. I just didn't care enough to do anything about it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, over the last couple of months, you have certainly challenged me to do more, be more, improve more. And as a consequence of that, I've taken a deeper look in the mirror and gone, actually, the excuses are wearing very, very thin. How about we give up on the excuses and just get the work done?
Let's face reality.
Let's face reality and get the work done. And I've never been unhappy. As you know, I'm quite a happy person, but I am much happier now than I was, say, 6 months ago in myself, even though I've only just started getting back into things. And, that is all down to mindset.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where everything starts, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Everything's conceived in the mind. Then you make a choice, don't you, whether you want to do it or you don't.
just like the 5 a.m. club.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
And what are your thoughts on the 5 a.m. club, Shaz? I'm interested now.
I think it depends. Different people are different. So those who say to you, 5 a.m. club, if you're not in it, you're a loser, or you're not focused, or you're not doing well, or whatever other words they may use. What they don't understand is the 5 a.m. club works for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different people are better at different things at different times. Some people like staying up all night, okay? And others, and then sleeping during the day, and then obviously staying up all the next night. So people have to understand you've got to do what's right for you, what's best for you.
Yeah.
But the way to find out what's right for you is by testing and trying things.
Yeah.
So they say, "Oh, I'd never wake up 5 in the morning." Well, how do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It might be the best thing you've ever done.
Could
And you
work.
might be glad for it.
It's like cold showers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cold showers. Some people swear by them.
Yeah.
And say they're the greatest thing. Not only does it wake them up, it gives them, dopamine boost and all the rest of it. And,
Well, you
caveat.
challenge your mind, don't you? That's the
Yeah.
whole thing behind it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, your mind says, no, it's too cold. This, it's like that. Oh, I
It
want to shiver. I
focuses
don't like
you.
it. You don't
You've
need
got
it.
to
You're
focus.
okay. Whatever. Okay, your mind tries to trick you. You just go in there, bang. Okay, shock. Yeah. So you've got to keep doing that to your mind.
Yeah, and it strengthens your mind, which strengthens your outlook, which strengthens your body, which strengthens your lifestyle, which strengthens your life, which makes you grow. As you grow, you improve. As you improve, things get better for you both, at home, at work, financially, fiscally, emotionally, spiritually, and you just end up on an upward spiral.
You've made it sound good, at least, haven't you?
Well.
Whether it is or isn't, it's remains to be seen. But you made it sound good. But
no, I do truly believe that. I think from a mindset point of view, when you've made your mind up that something is going to be good and achievable, it's good and achievable.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because you've programmed your subconscious to say it's going to be good.
The second you say I can't, you're right.
Yeah.
And it is as simple. I say it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. It's not as easy as that. But like with so many things we've spoken about on this Property Wise show, simple, yes. Many of the things we talk about are simple. Are they easy?
The majority are, yeah.
Are they easy? Well, that's a different question, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't wish it were easy, wish you were better, as Jim Rohn says. But I think it's come back to the 5 a.m. club. It's about trying it. So, I mean, for me personally, as you know, Kieran, if I start work at 5 o'clock, I'm more focused, more disciplined, less phone calls, less disturbances. I will avoid social media. Though I've cut social media down dramatically in terms of personal social media. You probably can't remember the last time I was on Facebook. Personal use.
For personal use
yeah.
and not business use and not interacting with a member of the community.
Yeah, cut it out. Okay.
No, I can't.
Yeah. I'd say to be on the safe side, at least 3 months. But the last 6 months, it's been something which I've focused on. And these things aren't easy because you build habits. Sometimes good habits, sometimes bad habits. And you build habits, and to change those, then it takes you a while to break the habit and find a cue.
Useless fact for you, and I don't know why this sticks in my head, but on average, I believe, and the listeners and viewers can correct me if I'm wrong. They've got direct access.
In that
to
case, we're going to get plenty of
Google.
phone calls, can we?
Hopefully, but it takes on average for most people 30 days to build a habit.
I'd say 21, yes, but yeah.
Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
But it takes over 90 days to break it.
Yeah, because
3 times as long.
Yeah, you formed it.
Yeah, and I think that's incredibly important, especially if you've got bad habits, negative habits, things like that, or your internal monologue is very negative. Because some people can be outwardly quite positive, but their internal monologue can be quite negative. And trying to change that mindset is a lot harder than, just trying to change other styles of mindset where you can see the outward effect of that mindset, because these people are masking it very well. But yeah, 90 days so to begin with, you've got to find out, or people have to acknowledge they've perhaps got a bad, negative, poor mindset, which goes back to
Or a
our
habit. It's like smoking, isn't it,
Yeah,
Kieran?
it's like
Easy
smoking.
to start, isn't it? Try stopping. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just it. And this comes back to my first point about looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself. Are you a negative person? Do you portray a positive person? Two different things. And changing that internal monologue, give yourself 3 months consistency. And that's a key point that comes up again and again and again and again in our mindset.
And give yourself permission.
Yeah. Give yourself permission, but also
allow yourself to be free.
Not the words I would normally use. You know the words I would normally use, but give yourself the permission to make mistakes, to mess up. Wouldn't necessarily say mess, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself, because a lot of the time people will say, right, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to go to the gym. They'll go to the gym solidly for a week, 2 weeks even, 3 weeks even. Then they'll miss a session, miss 2 sessions. Oh, I've missed 2 sessions now, there's no point. Well, why not? You've only missed 2 sessions. That's okay. Life happens. Don't be so hard on yourself. Allow yourself that breather.
That's part of the problem, isn't it? We're our own best critic. We beat ourselves up. We set standards that we can't meet. And it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, exactly that. And people need to be more okay. And one of the hardest things to do, and something that takes more strength than people realize, is asking for help. And I think it takes a very strong person to actively ask for help and seek out help. Just my personal opinion on that. Let me know what you think at home. Get in touch. You can call the studio on 01733 602 133. You can text us on 07411 191 062. Or you can comment on the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch.
Plenty of ways to get in touch.
Plenty of ways.
So I think you're absolutely right, and it's a matter of perspective, isn't it? Whether what one wants to change or improve. When we've seen so many times in the world of property, somebody comes in who basically starts with nothing, but has the right mindset in terms of wants to make a change, doesn't know how to make a change, wants to make a change.
But they've got that want, that will, that drive.
And absolutely, and they'll follow the list of 144 things you tell them to do.
I love those people. But conversely, you've also, and we've also seen people that have every opportunity offered to them who do nothing with it. And that's one of those things with the entire industry. If you've got if you've not been given the opportunity, sometimes you want for the opportunity, but when you've got the opportunity and you do nothing with it, it's probably almost worse to not do something with the opportunities that have given to you when they're laid out for a plate, but you don't appreciate them as much when they're laid out for you on a silver platter, because they're there. Oh, I can take that opportunity whenever I want.
Talking about appreciation, by the way, Kieran, obviously, I think gratitude is really important. Being grateful to God, if you believe in God, being grateful to your parents, to your spouse, to your siblings, to your children, to your boss, to the people around you. People just aren't grateful as they ought to be, I think, generally in life.
I agree. I would extend that even further and say even grateful to the people that are negative towards you.
Oh, they're the best for you, aren't they?
Because
they're a gift.
They are the gift that keeps on giving, because they will always rise to the challenge, and more importantly, they give you something to strive for, to strive against, to prove wrong, if you like. And I don't mean that in a aggressive sort of terminology, but if someone says to me, I can't do it, like for example, we discussed but just before Ramadan started, how about I join you guys in fasting and breaking my fast, opening my fast at the same time as you, and maintaining it throughout. And I said, absolutely, let's do it. Why not?
Yep.
And so far, I'm on the wagon.
You made a good start. That's right.
It's a strong start. I'm quietly impressed with myself. I didn't think I'd make it this far.
Do I give you a pat on the back now?
No.
Tomorrow?
Wait until we get to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Of the show or end of Ramadan?
End of Ramadan.
Okay,
But for someone who's never partaken in this before, it's a complete it's a mindset shift. You know, I have to now change the way I think about when I eat, what I eat, when I drink, what I drink. You know, and align it with what I have chosen to do on a personal level. And I think, you know, that in and of itself, the fact that, you know, so many people around the world observe Ramadan proves how easy it is to change your mind about something when it's something you want or believe in wholeheartedly. But how simultaneously, how difficult it is to change your mind when you believe in something so wholeheartedly. Two sides of the same coin there.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about those naysayers without spending too much time on them, because I think we talked about them a few weeks ago.
We did,
but
yeah.
They do give you the fire in your belly that you need, don't they, to really excel and to make a difference. Because the many people that I've interviewed and talked to over the years, okay, the majority of them have, for one of the top 3 reasons for why they've achieved what they've achieved, is someone who tried to ridicule them, make fun of them, put them down, hold them back, okay?
Do anything they could to stop them.
Yeah, and that was that one moment, that one person, that one thought, that one experience, that one event that drives them to extreme success.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is a phenomenal motivator. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Motivation. It's great motivation.
Absolutely, yeah. And we all need a bit of motivation, don't we?
Absolutely.
So try the 5 a.m. club. Wake up in the morning. Test yourself. See how you get on. Are you more focused? Do you get more work done? Does it work better for you? Is it a good routine you could follow? Don't do it for a day or 2 days. I'd say do it for a couple of weeks at least to see how it feels, and then stop it. And then after another month or 2, try it again. Because the first time you might shock your systems to some extent. You might not like it. Second time you might get used to think, yeah, I quite like this.
I think it is important to, you know, you wake up once at 5 a.m. Oh, that wasn't for me. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym once and come out and you're not in shape. Well, everyone recognizes that's not the way the gym works. You've got to do it consistently. You've got to go regularly. You've got to increase your weights, do blah, 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 blah. I'm not a personal trainer, so I'm not going to go too deep. But everyone understands that you don't walk into the gym on day 1 and walk out on day 1 with the body of an Adonis.
No, doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So, and I say the same about the 5 a.m. club. You can't get an idea of whether or not it's for you by doing it once. You've got to do it consistently for a period of time.
Absolutely.
But speaking of a period of time, on average, we're going into property now.
Oh, about time too then.
I know, right? As a period of time, how long does it take to do a commercial conversion? Because what we're going to do this week is we're going to take a deep dive on one of your favourite property strategies, commercial conversions.
Favourite to the listeners or to me or to you?
I think to us.
To us, okay.
I mean, if the listeners have any favourite property strategies they want us to cover next week, by all means, get in touch, let us know. The number to call is 01733 602 133, or you can text us your ideas on 07411 191 062, or you can comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Because ultimately, we are here to serve you guys. We're here to pass over our knowledge of our learnings from a combined number of years in property.
Before I answer your question, for anybody who's listening or tuning in via any of the live platforms, what's a commercial conversion?
It's a good question, Shaz. What is a commercial conversion?
No, you asked me the question. So
No, a commercial conversion is it's a commercial. My English is good, right? It's a commercial. It's where you purchase a commercial building, so a warehouse, an old shop, an old post office, something like that, and then you convert it into a set of residential flats. Now, number of flats you'll get in will depend on the size of the commercial unit. It'll depend on, the planning permission. It'll depend on so many factors. So there's no hard and fast rule. But in general, you will either increase the number of units in the building or decrease them. Generally, for a commercial conversion where you're taking it from a commercial type style unit into a residential unit, you'll be increasing the number of units.
Okay. That's a good explanation, by the way. That sounds quite interesting. So, based on my own experience and the stuff that we've done, Kieran, I'd say 18 months will be a sensible time to aim for, to start from start to finish for a commercial conversion.
18 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you talked about planning, so obviously if prior approval or permitted development apply, then I think you can do it in 18 months. If you go through the planning process, then it might take longer because you're in the hands of the gods, as they say. You're in the hands of the council.
The council and the planning committees.
Yeah, it could be any local authority, by the way. They're a law unto themselves sometimes.
Yeah, and they can long things out. They can take time.
Take a lot of time.
A lot of time.
Let's take up a planning aspect and say 18 months you can get the job done.
So physical work, buying, designing, building, renting out.
Absolutely.
18 months.
Yeah.
But what two rules do we understand are true about property?
Always take longer, always cost you more.
So when we tell you 18 months, listeners, please remember.
It's going to take you longer, by the way.
It always takes longer and it always costs more.
Yeah, we talk about that, but I'll tell you what. The previous conversion we did in Boston.
Yes.
Didn't take 18 months.
That took less than 18 months.
The post office, which we're going to do now, which we'll share with people as the weeks go on, because we'll be sharing our key learnings with them, won't take 18 months.
No, it shouldn't.
Remember, we just completed, I think, the 2 days before Christmas.
Yes.
Because remember, I drove down to London to drop the
I
documents
do
and all
remember
that saga, which we might talk about as well. All right.
That was a good time.
And it's been 3 months now. We're aiming to start in May, and it'll take us 6, 7, maximum 8 months to do the work. Okay, plus these 3, 4 months, 10 months. In within that refinancing, I'm telling you, it'll be less than 18 months. Less than 18 months. You watch. And that's for
I will.
21 or 21 to 22 flats. Do you know?
Yeah.
So once you've done a few, you can get better at it, and you can speed it up.
Well, I mean that's something that we will go on to in subsequent shows. Is once you've done a few, you know who to call, and it's not the Ghostbusters.
Well, that'd be good.
Oh, wouldn't it just? But the
The A team.
Yeah, can we call the A team?
I'd rather call the A team. Yeah.
Okay, or maybe MacGyver.
Yeah. Anyone.
Someone
answer the phone.
Any of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put us in touch.
Yeah.
If they can get it done. And like I say, this will probably have to be a future episode of power teams. Because now that we've done a few, we know what we're doing, we know who to call, we know who to contact, we know who's good at what, we know what we need, exactly what we need, rather than, I think I need a QS, I think maybe a project manager. No, I'll project manage it myself and then get it wrong and then have to hire a project manager to fix my mistakes. Yeah, things like that. And that's an advantage that we have, is that we know these people and we've worked with them before, we've done jobs with them before, so we've got a solid power team in place, so we can do it in less than 18 months. And I think it's important to recognise that as a caveat to people who are just getting into commercial conversions.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you know what? If the first one takes you 24 months or 2.5 years, 30 months, who cares? Just learn on the job. See how it goes.
Absolutely.
Understand the process. Because like we said on previous shows, you've got to pay your entry fee.
Yes, you
and
do.
your entry fee is a tax, really, which is...
And you know all about taxes.
Oh, I know all about taxes, especially paying them. And it's your tax or your entry fee, okay, to enter into the world of property. But
Absolutely.
don't worry about that. But, I made a £15,000 loss and it's the end of my life. No, it's not. That's the start of your life. Because now you know what not to do.
And what not to do is arguably just as important, if not more important than what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And don't fall at the first hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, if you get rejected once or you have a failure once, don't give up there.
No.
That's not the time to give up. That's the time to dig your heels in and go, okay, I learnt a lot.
Because
How can I implement these learnings into the next project? Make it better. I can become smarter, stronger, better than I was before.
Absolutely, yeah.
And use those learnings to improve next time. And don't make the same mistakes again. You'll make different mistakes, by the way.
That's fine.
But different
We all make
mistakes is better than repeating the same mistakes.
100%.
So we're about to head to a break. But after the break, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few numbers for commercial conversions. See you on the other side.
Bye.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
This year, for the first time, residents must show photo ID when voting at the local elections on May the 4th. You may already have an acceptable form of photo ID, such as a passport or driving licence. But if you don't, you can apply for a free voter ID document known as a Voter Authority Certificate on the Peterborough City Council website. You must apply for your free voter ID certificate by April the 25th. For more information, go to www.peterborough.gov.uk and search for Voter ID.
Masterminds Tuition Academy is for your high schoolers, your something to provers, your subject strugglers and keen learners, your brave jumpers and fist pumpers. Affordable personalised learning plans are delivered through our centres in schools across Peterborough. But not to worry, we also provide online and home visits with flexible timings. Whether it is maths, English, science or 11 plus, Masterminds is a must. Find us on all socials and visit our website mastermindstuitionacademy.com or call us on 07516 166 003. Masterminds, master the matrix.
At Cake Inn, all our cakes and slices are freshly baked for that delicious taste. At Cake Inn, we bake 100% vegetarian and halal eggless fresh queen cakes. Delicious flavoured cakes for birthdays and weddings, ceremonies and all other occasions, with free customised messages, even balloons and candles too. Order for delivery or collection from Cake Inn, 489 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PE, and your cake could be ready within 2 hours. Find out more and order online at cakein.co.uk or call 01733 496 584.
The holy month of togetherness and sharing is upon us. Bring your family together with Elephant Atta, the nation's favourite atta for over 60 years. This Ramadan, Elephant Atta is offering special discounts on medium and fine white chapati atta, available in convenient 10 and 25 kg bags. Make this Ramadan one to remember with Elephant Atta.
You could be driving, you might be cooking, you could even be working. But whatever you're doing, you're also listening to Salam Radio. And if you're in business, your potential new customers could be listening too. So talk to them and let them know what you have to offer. Advertising on Salam Radio is affordable and effective. And by doing so, you're also supporting this valuable and important voice within the community. Right now, there are special Ramadan advertising offers available too. Call 07866 319 679 or find Salam Radio online and across social media.
Salam Radio wishes all of our community Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Property Wise Property Show. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman. I'm here with...
Assalamu alaikum, Shaz Nawaz.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the Children's Hour. I am joined with...
There you go. Second time.
Second time. What did I do?
Nothing.
I don't know.
You laughed at me last week.
I did laugh at you last
Twice,
week.
you laughed at me twice. Didn't remember?
I did.
It's happened to you twice now.
That's karma.
Yeah. But I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
So are we even now?
I'm not laughing though.
I might. But in all seriousness, salam alaikum and welcome to the Property Wise Show. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman. I'm here with Shaz Nawaz, and we are talking all things property. And today, we're talking about commercial conversions.
Ooh.
If you have any thoughts on that, feel free to get in touch. You can call the studio on 01733 602 133. You can text us on 07411 191 062. I sound like a bingo announcer, don't I? 191.
Yeah.
Or you can comment on the live streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. Full house, bingo.
Bing.
Isn't that how it goes?
Something like that.
Something like that. But so before we went to the break, we were discussing commercial conversions and how long they take, and the fact that if you're new to this, it's probably going to take a little bit longer, but accept it. Accept your entry tax and move on with your life. Learn from the mistakes that you make and make different ones next time. Because I promise you, you're never going to get it perfect every time.
I don't think anybody ever does.
No, I mean, each commercial conversion you've done, different mistakes each time?
All the time. You learn new things because there's so many different moving parts, things you think about, things you don't think about, things that you're never going to think about, things that you thought ought not to go wrong, things you were sure weren't going to go wrong. So every time, when you've got other people involved, Kieran, stuff's going to go wrong, put it that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Simple.
For me, it's a bit like buying a house overall. The first house you ever bought, you went in, you looked around, you went, yeah, I like this, I'll take it. The second house you bought, you went in, you looked around, you checked a few things in a bit more detail, and you were like, okay, all right. The third house you bought, you went in, you checked the water pressure, you checked the heating, you checked the cracks, you checked the windows. The list of your checks gets longer the more houses you buy.
You become wiser, yeah, absolutely.
As you become wiser.
Same with commercial property.
Absolutely the same. Different mistakes across the board.
And that's why it's important, as you say, to have the right people around you when you're doing your first conversion to take around the building.
Absolutely.
They can point things out to you.
And they can tell you the things that you undoubtedly have missed. Structural engineers, quantity surveyors,
building surveyors.
Yeah. These are the people you need on your team to help you get to where you want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I found a property, Mr. Nawaz.
Yes, Mr. Bateman.
And, let's call it a commercial property and say, okay, I'll look at it and go, I reckon we can do something here. And I get everything in place, one stumbling block. I don't quite have the money to do this full commercial conversion by myself. What do I do? I mean, this commercial conversion, for argument's sake, it's going to cost me £300,000 to buy the unit, which, if anyone didn't know, something that I think is worth mentioning is, on average, commercial space is cheaper per square foot and per square metre, whichever way you want to measure it, than residential.
That's the whole reason why that whole thing works, but you're right.
And
yeah.
that was the point I was getting to, and that's the reason why this commercial conversions work.
Yeah.
So we've bought this commercial property for 300. Well, we're looking at it. It's 300,000.
Yep.
And we estimate that the work we're going to have to put in is going to cost us another 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of it, the total unit with all the flats all told all together is going to value at £1 million.
Mm-hmm.
GDV at the end is £1 million.
Yep.
Now, I don't have the 600 grand needed to do that conversion. Do you reckon that with those numbers, I could find a JV partner who would do it with me
Oh, any day of the week.
every day of the
Any
week?
day of the week with those numbers. Simply because if you find a property worth 300 grand, spend 300 grand on fitting it, kitting it out, and I'll assume in there you've included legal fees,
Absolutely, yeah.
STLT, the whole lot, to keep it really
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, just to keep it
And
simple.
you're making a 400 grand margin, okay, and if you're doing it in 18 months, okay, Kieran, and just to somebody invest 600 grand and you'll get 200,000 pounds back in 18 months, okay, 33% return, who'd say no?
Well, this is it. So that's
As long as they're confident and they've done the DD on you, all that type of stuff, let's just assume those things.
yeah. Assume they're confident in my ability to pull off the job.
Let's say you took 3 years
Yeah.
and it's a 16.66% return. Why would most people say no?
Well, this is it.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's
It's a
kind of
no-brainer.
kind
But
of the key point.
The smart people would do, Kieran, though, is say, I'll invest £300,000, the other £300,000, let's get a loan from a bank or a bridging company or somebody else. So I can then tie the other 300,000 and give to you to make the 600 into a second project.
Absolutely.
And use some of the bank's money.
Use some of the bank's money. And, just a caveat, we are not financial advisors, but, these are just things that we would do from our experience.
Yeah,
If you want financial advice, go and seek a professional.
absolutely. Who's authorised to give you advice?
Sometimes I feel I need to go and seek a professional. Different reasons.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm looking for one for you. I just can't find somebody suitable who's got the patience. Who won't go mad.
Is your patience run out then?
No,
Not yet.
no. It's infinite for you, Kieran.
But yeah, and I mean, the nice thing about that, and the bit that we've kind of glossed over, is you've bought the property for 300, you've spent 300 refurbing it, you've spent £600,000. It's a lot of money. But once you've spent that 600 grand, you own it outright. Now, once it's turned into flats, you can mortgage those and get 75% loan to value, which means you'll pull out £750,000.
Yep.
So now you've got however many flats you created in that unit.
Call it 10.
Call it 10. So you've got 10 flats. Your investor's got their £600,000 back. They're happy, which is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got £150,000 sitting pretty, spare. If you were me or you, I would split that 50-50 with the investor.
You would do, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Be fair about these things and be honest and upfront and clear. But that's still 75 grand to you and 75 grand to your investor. And then 5 flats to you and 5 flats to your investor. And they've got all their money back in 18 months. They've got £75,000 cash in 18 months. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you remortgage, that extra cash is tax-free.
It is, depending on what you do with it.
Depending on what you do with it. That is the caveat.
Yeah, because obviously if you've got it through a limited company and you take the money out.
You've got to pay.
Yeah, but if you've put the money there as a director's loan at some point in the past and then you can draw down against it, then it's yours. But if it's in your personal names and you refinance, and then you can do what you like with the money.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Show me another business model, another investment idea, another strategy that can take a limited amount of funds, a good deal, and a partner, and give you property for free.
Well, let's square that circle further. So let's say each property gives you £750 rent per month.
Yep.
Okay, times 12 months, yeah?
Yeah.
That gives you £9 grand a year. Times 10 properties gives you £90,000. If it's...
Say it's a 4%.
Yeah, if it's if there's no void periods in the...
Yeah.
So if you've got £750,000 that you borrowed from the bank, and you're paying, let's say, 5% interest. Okay, interest will go up. If we were talking about this 6 months ago, we'd be saying
2%,
maybe 3%. Yeah, because some of the deals we were doing.
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
So on this one here, it'd be 337,500 you're paying interest only.
Yep.
Okay, and the balance, okay, of the funds that you've got left are all in your own pocket, which is 52,200.
I mean, even if you added an extra,
we will.
2.5 grand for fees and maintenance, and I mean they're brand new, so they shouldn't be too much maintenance.
7.5 grand. Okay, be generous.
Be generous.
Yeah? And then that takes us to 45,000. Let's say we've got some void periods as well. Okay, and we lost another £10,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Again, high numbers, I think.
Yeah, very high numbers.
Okay. You got £35,000. Now think about it, Kieran, and all of our listeners and viewers. You started with nothing in your pocket. You found a property, and you found a JV partner or some resource. And we covered this last week, where you get the resource from, and it doesn't always have to be through a JV partner. But
Absolutely.
You've done this deal. GDV, gross development value 1.1 million. Refunds at 75%, 250 grand. 600 goes back to the JV partner. The other 150
gets split.
You can split it, or you can leave it in the company for the next project. And ask the JV partner, you contribute less now, but because you're contributing less, maybe you might give them a different share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or do something else, by the way. And then all of a sudden now, everybody's got their money back, so you've both got 10 properties free, 5 each, okay? From those 5, with this high cost, even though I've said 750 per month rent, times 12 months, times 10 properties, 90 grand. We've covered the interest, if you've got interest at 5%, to £37,500. Some of the costs, in terms of other costs, £7,500, and voids, which is the
important
flats
thing,
being empty, £10,000. £35,000, Kieran. You're getting £17,500 each. How many of those do you need to do before someone who can stop working, who has an average salary of, let's say, 35,000?
Well, you only need to do 2. You do 4, and suddenly you're in the top 10% of earners in the country. No. £70,000 a year for doing very little. In all honesty, you've done okay. You've had to find the properties. You've had to put the time and effort and sweat equity. There is a lot of work involved. Don't mistake me.
Compare that to working 9 to 5, 48 weeks in a year, okay, and taking 4 weeks holiday. Okay, compared to that, you're right. It's very little to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Compared to that,
and also, show me another job, if you like, where you can go, okay, this year I'm earning £35,000. Next year I'm earning £35,000. But you know what? In year 3, I'm earning 70. Show me another job where you can double your salary in 3 years, quadruple it in 9.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. And if you manage to, it's possible. And I have seen deals like where the investor has just put up the money, they've taken the 150 full extra back. That's their contribution, if you like, and then all the flats belong to the developer. At which point you've got 10 flats for free. Your investor's got all their money back plus £150,000. You've got 10 flats and a rent roll of £35,000 coming in.
Yeah.
Profit.
Yeah.
Profit after costs.
And if you're sharp about that, you can obviously improve these numbers even more.
Oh, absolutely.
So 35 could easily become 45.
Yeah. And
absolute game changer. This is why we love commercial conversions. Yeah. Absolute game changer.
Show me another business where you can make that sort of income.
Yeah, we've said it before, though. If someone said to you, here's 10 flats, Kieran, don't pay me a penny for them, have them. You'd say, why only 10, by the way? But say, I'll take these, but where did these 10 come from? Can I have some more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you would. And why wouldn't you? And that's the nice thing. And I think it's, ties nicely into our mindset sessions, is that, people who say I can't, the deal that, we've postulated here, 300, a million, isn't an unrealistic deal. These aren't pie in the sky numbers. I've not, wildly over exaggerated what is possible. That deal is possible.
Absolutely. And let's say it weren't $1 million, it was £800,000. You'd still refinance and get £600,000 back, pay off your investor.
Yeah, exactly that.
You haven't got the £150,000 in your bank account, but you know what? Who cares? the deal still works. You still ended up with 10 properties with no money tied in the deal.
Yeah.
Can't get any better, can it?
No, absolutely
well,
not.
it can if you get the 150 grand, but
well, yeah,
generally
yeah.
speaking, okay, compared to most of the things, of course not.
No, and that's the thing. But you know, people who want to get into a property with very little money will say, "Oh, but yeah, it's all right for you. You've got money to invest." No, I don't. I don't use my money to invest. I absolutely do not. My money is tied up elsewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I use other people's money to invest.
Well, once you've got the expertise, then it's about using that expertise to as your working capital per se, or your sweat equity, you call it what you like. So somebody else will say to you, "I'll contribute the financial funds because I haven't got the time." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We've just had a text come in. Just bear with me. Let me read this.
So while you read the text,
yep.
I'll just continue with this. So it really is a process that you have to learn, which anybody can learn and then follow. And there's only one way to learn, by the way, on this particular journey. It's by learning on the job. You can read as many books you like, go to as many seminars and webinars and YouTube videos and talk to people and go networking and do all of that stuff there. But I'm telling you, the only way that you're going to be able to improve is that you will have to do the hard grind, Kieran. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's an important thing. You do need to do the hard grind and recognise that the hard grind is there, and regardless of what you do, what you know, how much you do, how much you input, you'll get out what you input into it. And the more you input, the more work you're prepared to do, the more research, due diligence, and all the rest of it that you are prepared to do, then the more you will find it rewarding, and the more you will find and get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Probably. You said that there was a question, Kieran. So read it out loud, my friend.
Absolutely.
I'd love to, but I can't see from here.
Yep. So, Slum, first of all, amazing show. It's the first time I've caught it just now. Very positive and lots of great advice. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your kind words.
Pleasure.
I've obviously missed a lot of episodes, and I'm very impressed with what you said about learn and take the plunge. Absolutely. Do some research, take some lessons, and take the action. I need advice as I'm starting off as a business doing properties. I'm just selling one as we speak. It's taken months, so I need to learn from that. Absolutely. And so sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes it will take months and months.
And what's the rush sometimes?
Well, I mean, if you remember, my last property that I sold took a year to go through. Okay, it was during the pandemic, but we started in 2020, December 2020. We actually had a sale agreed March 2021, and then we did not complete until March 2022. It took a long time. There were a lot of moving parts going on, and it really did test my patience. But the reason you've contacted us is because of equity release. What's the best way to build a good portfolio? Now, we do have a episode coming up on, potentially you could sell your home and go into rented to generate enough income.
Isn't that brave?
That's not something I could do. I've got other people in the household who make decisions with me, and I'm not sure she would go for it personally. But we know that, and that's fine. There's a certain, and I think it's true of a lot of people, there's a certain je ne sais quoi in owning your own property.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. But in terms of equity release, I'm not a professional in that field.
I think in this particular sense, obviously the equity release you're thinking about is different. What this person generally means is they bought a property, I assume, it's gone up in value, and they're looking now
to refinance and pull the equity
money.
out.
That's what they mean, as opposed to the old age equity release that you're talking about, thinking about, which is more complex.
Far more complex. But in terms of refinancing and pulling the money out.
Simply, yeah.
It's absolutely doable, and we did cover that a few weeks back. I'm sure the episode's still on YouTube somewhere. And your second question would be, it's so hard to invest in Peterborough residential, so I ventured into the Midlands. Is there an episode I can catch up on, as I'm not on the radio right now? I think if you go to the YouTube channel, there should be all of the episodes there, because we do stream live to YouTube.
Yeah, on Salam Radio.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Or you can get in touch with the station itself. I'm sure they've got the back catalogue of all our shows, starting from the very first one. Imagine that.
Yes.
Listening to us all over again.
From day one.
From day one.
Yeah.
But just remember, and this, a good friend of mine, a man called Paul, who you know.
Yeah, I do know, yeah. So does Faisal, by the way, yeah.
Yeah. Paul...
Lovely man.
Lovely man. Very, very big on mindset. He once said
I
to me...
bumped into him, in fact.
Yes, he
local
messaged me.
restaurant.
He messaged me.
With
I need
his
to.
dad.
I need to call him. But anyway, he always used to say, "You can do things one day, or today can be day one." And I think that's so powerful. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to do it one day, or is today the start of your journey?
Yeah.
Is it day one?
That's absolutely right.
And he's absolutely right.
Yeah. So, forgive me, Kieran, I think the person who contributed, thank you for the contribution, but I don't think we caught their name, so...
No, sadly not. And I'm not going to repeat their phone number.
That's fine. That's fine. And so, equity release, absolutely. And then Midlands, I think, it's a phenomenal area to invest, by the way. I think Coventry, a lot of potential.
If it's not out of turn for me to say, I think somewhere on YouTube you have a video covering this.
Possibly. But you've got Coventry, you've got Birmingham, you've got the...
Manchester's good to invest in.
Black Country. I think this person was asking about
Midland
the
General.
The Black Country, the Rugby, Nuneaton, the borders of Leicestershire, and we're talking about East Midlands here possibly as well, or venturing into that. But there's so much to do, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely there is. And there's a lot of... When you look at people's... not just investment strategies, but you look at the government's investment plan around the country and where's going to get,
where's the money going?
Where's the money going? I would say do your due diligence, but look heavily at those areas, because if the money's going there from the government, then business is going there too.
Absolutely.
If businesses are going there, staff are going there. If staff are going there, they need homes, they need houses.
Yeah, they're building hospitals, they're building schools, they're building...
they're building communities.
Yeah, but absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you can be a part of that, why not? Be a great investment.
Make a difference.
Make a difference. Help build a community.
Fantastic housing. Yeah, absolutely.
And why not? I think that's a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah, and of course, again, it depends on the attitude, the risk of the person who asked the question, kind of their age in terms of do they want to take risk at that age, that type of stuff. But that's the choice for them. By the way, so I suppose somebody who's 72 today got a restaurant up north. And doing some fantastic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not the first one I've spoken to, by the way. As you know, when people asked for the book in the strategy course, met loads of people, 80s, 90s. I think the oldest was 96.
Yeah.
Full of beans.
And that's just proof that, there is no age limit on this.
And we've got 30-years saying, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this is going to work out. When I was 30, mate, as you know, well, you don't know, but you can kind of grasp from what you do know.
You already had a business.
Going for it, bang. Yeah, more than one business, yeah.
Exactly.
Even now you seem to just get up, okay, let's do it, bang.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Because we're going to make it day one.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
1 day.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we just get on and do things and take action. Taking action, I think, is key in everything.
Yeah.
Everything that we talk about.
Because most things people worry about, Kieran, never happen anyway.
No.
So why worry about them? But now you worried about them, they never happened. So move forward, worrying less, and just doing more. So to this person here, just feel confident and just do it.
I operate on a 5x5 basis. Will it matter in 5 years? No. Don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. 5x5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because...
Did you get that from me by any chance?
5x5?
Not 5x5, but... Is it how important is it now or next week or next month?
I first heard that on a TV show back in the 90s.
Well, good. And like I said, I'll borrow that too, 5x5 then. Yeah, but I remember, I think we were talking about
but we have spoken about very, very similar things.
How important is it? Just don't let it hold you back. Just keep moving, just keep moving. And
Exactly
it'll be
that.
absolutely fun. Just,
And as long
do
as
the
you
first component.
Yeah, just keep taking action and consistent action and intelligent action. Don't just be a busy fool.
So what's your Ramadan message for people until next week?
I don't know.
Anything?
Take care, be good to each other, be excellent to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
It is, and be grateful.
That's the best advice I think anybody can give anybody else. And this is the obviously, as you know, a holy month and a good month to do all those things.
Exactly that. So we will see you same time,